Good evening, friends. Welcome back to another sleepy fantasy journey. I hope the night is treating you well. Thanks for joining me. Tonight, you'll journey beyond the familiar seas of Berk. You'll discover a creature of legend, forge a bond deeper than words, and soar through realms where dreams and reality dance as one. Let yourself drift into this world where magic awaits and peaceful slumber follows. If you haven't already, go ahead and get comfortable. Settle into your space. Take a few deep breaths. Wherever you've been today, whatever you've done, it's time now to let it all go. It's time now to relax. Our journey begins now. The salt-tinged breeze carries whispers of adventure as you stand at the edge of Berk's highest cliff, watching the sun paint the horizon in shades of amber and rose. Your dragon, faithful companion of countless flights, rests peacefully in the village below, recovering from yesterday's long patrol. But something calls to you tonight, a pull as gentle as a lullaby, yet as insistent as the tide. You've heard the elders speak in hushed tones of the whispering isles, those mysterious fragments of land that appear only when the moon is dark and the mists rise thick from the sea. They say these islands drift like dreams across the water, visible only to those whose hearts are open to wonder. Most dismiss such tales as the ramblings of old Vikings who've spent too many nights with their ale horns. But you've always felt there was truth hidden in these words. Tonight, the conditions are perfect. The new moon has left the sky draped in velvet darkness, pierced only by the gentle glow of countless stars. Below, tendrils of mist begin to curl upward from the warming sea, and you feel that familiar tingle of anticipation that comes before every great discovery. Your small sailing vessel bobs gently in the protected cove where you've moored it, its single sail furled and ready. You've packed light, just some dried fish, fresh water, and a warm cloak woven from the softest yak wool. Something tells you this journey requires simplicity, a shedding of the everyday world's complexities. As you push off from shore, the gentle lapping of waves against your boat's hull creates a rhythm that seems to match your heartbeat. The oars cut through the dark water with barely a sound, and soon Berk's familiar lights fade behind you, swallowed by the thickening mist. The fog embraces you like a living thing, cool and welcoming against your skin. It carries scents you've never encountered before, not just the usual salt and seaweed, but something floral and mysterious, like night-blooming flowers from a distant land. The very air seems to shimmer with possibility. You row steadily, guided by your instinct more than sight. The mist grows so thick that you can barely see the front of your own boat, yet you feel no fear. Instead, there's a profound sense of rightness, as if you're following a path laid out long before your birth. The water beneath your vessel begins to glow with a soft, phosphorescent light. Tiny organisms awakening to create a trail of liquid starlight in your wake. Time seems to stretch and bend in this ethereal realm. You might have been rowing for minutes or hours when you first hear it, a sound unlike anything in your experience. It's not quite singing, not quite humming, but something that seems to resonate in your very bones. The melody is hauntingly beautiful, rising and falling like the breath of some great, gentle creature. The sound grows stronger as you continue forward, and gradually, shapes begin to emerge from the mist. At first, they're just darker patches in the gray, but slowly, they resolve into the silhouettes of islands unlike any you've ever seen. These aren't the rough, rocky outcroppings you're accustomed to around Berk. Instead, they seem to float like dreams made manifest, their edges soft and somehow luminous. You guide your boat toward the largest of these mysterious land masses, and as you draw closer, details begin to emerge that take your breath away. The island's shores aren't made of sand or pebbles, but of what appears to be crushed pearls and sea glass, creating a beach that glimmers with an inner light. Strange trees rise from this luminous shore, their trunks twisted into graceful spirals, and their leaves shimmering like scales in shades of deep blue and silver. The haunting melody grows stronger still, and you realize it's coming from somewhere within the island's heart. You beach your boat on the pearl sand shore, the hull sliding silently onto the strange surface with barely a whisper. As you step onto the beach, you're amazed to find that it's warm beneath your feet, as if heated by some gentle, internal fire. The trees part before you as you walk inland, their branches seeming to bend aside of their own accord to create a path. Flowers unlike any you've ever seen bloom in the perpetual twilight of this place. some shaped like tiny dragons with petals for wings, others resembling miniature suns that pulse with a soft, golden light. The air is filled with their perfume, a scent that seems to ease every tension in your body and quiet every worry in your mind. You follow the winding path deeper into the island's interior, the mysterious song growing ever stronger. It seems to be calling specifically to you, each note perfectly pitched to resonate with something deep in your soul. The path leads upward, winding around hills covered in the softest moss you've ever felt, past streams that flow with water so clear it seems like liquid crystal. As you climb higher, you begin to notice signs that you're not alone on this mystical island. There are marks in the soft earth, not quite footprints, but impressions that suggest the passage of something large and graceful. Occasionally, you catch glimpses of movement in your peripheral vision. But when you turn to look directly, there's nothing there but the gentle swaying of the strange, beautiful vegetation. The song reaches a crescendo as you crest a small hill, and before you opens a sight that stops you in your tracks. Nestled in a natural amphitheater of living stone is a pool of water so perfectly still it might be a mirror. The surface reflects not just the star-filled sky above, but seems to show depths that extend far beyond what should be possible. Around the pool's edge, crystals jut from the ground like frozen music, each one humming with a different note that contributes to the overall melody. But it's not the pool or the crystals that capture your attention. It's the creature resting beside the water. At first glance, you might mistake it for a trick of the light. So perfectly does it blend with its surroundings. The dragon, for dragon it surely is, though unlike any species you've encountered, seems to be woven from moonbeams and mist. Its scales shift and flow like liquid silver, and its wings, folded gracefully against its sides, appear to be made of the same ethereal substance as the aurora that sometimes dances across Berk's winter skies. The creature is smaller than a night fury, but larger than a terrible terror, perfectly proportioned with an elegance that speaks of ancient wisdom. Its head is delicately formed, with large, expressive eyes that seem to hold the depth of centuries. As you watch, barely daring to breathe, those eyes open and fix upon you with an intelligence that is both alien and deeply familiar. There's no fear in that gaze, no aggression or territorial warning. Instead, you see curiosity, welcome, and something that might be recognition, as if this magnificent being has been waiting specifically for you. The dragon's song, for you now realize the haunting melody has been coming from this creature all along, shifts to a softer, more intimate tone, like a lullaby meant for your ears alone. You find yourself moving forward without conscious decision, drawn by an invisible thread of connection. The dragon watches your approach with calm interest, its head tilting slightly in a gesture that's almost bird-like in its delicate precision. As you draw nearer, you can see that its scales don't just shift in color. They seem to contain tiny galaxies, swirling nebulae of light that pulse gently with each breath the creature takes. When you're close enough to touch, you pause, extending your hand in the universal gesture of peaceful greeting that all dragon riders learn. The creature considers your outstretched palm for a moment, then slowly, gracefully, extends its own head to meet your touch. The moment your skin makes contact with the dragon's scales, the world transforms around you. The connection isn't just physical. It's as if your very souls recognize each other across the vast expanse of time and space. Through that touch, you feel the creature's ancient wisdom, its deep connection to the mysteries of dream and sleep, its role as guardian of the boundary between waking and slumber. Images flow between you without words. Visions of this dragon's kind, the Dreamweavers, as they've watched over sleeping creatures for millennia. You see them visiting the dreams of dragons and humans alike, bringing peace to the troubled, inspiration to the creative, and healing to the wounded in spirit. This particular dragon, whose name comes to you as a feeling rather than a sound, something like the whisper of wind through silver chimes, has been alone for longer than you can comprehend, the last of its kind in these waters. But now, through your touch, you both understand that loneliness is ending. The bond that forms between you is unlike anything you've experienced with other dragons, where your relationship with your usual mount is one of partnership and mutual respect. This connection goes deeper, touching parts of your being you didn't even know existed. The dragon, Whisperwind, you decide to call it, though you know its true name is something far more complex and beautiful, begins to glow more brightly. The light emanates not just from its scales, but seems to come from within, as if your bond has awakened something that has been dormant. The creature rises gracefully to its feet, and you're struck again by its ethereal beauty, the way it seems to exist partially in this world and partially in some other realm entirely. Whisperwind moves toward the crystal clear pool, and you follow, still maintaining that precious physical connection. At the water's edge, The dragon turns to you with an expression that clearly communicates an invitation. Without hesitation, you climb onto its back, marveling at how perfectly you fit, as if this creature was designed specifically to carry you. The dragon's scales are warm beneath you, and surprisingly solid despite their ethereal appearance. As you settle into position, Whisperwind's wings unfurl, revealing their true magnificence. The wing membranes are translucent, shot through with veins of silver light that pulse in rhythm with the creature's heartbeat. When fully extended, the wings seem to capture and reflect every photon of light, creating patterns that shift and dance like living art. With a movement so smooth it feels like floating, Whisperwind launches into the air. There's none of the powerful thrust you're accustomed to with other dragons. Instead, you simply find yourself airborne, as if the normal rules of physics have been gently set aside. The sensation is indescribable, like being cradled by the wind. As you rise above the mystical island, you see it spread out below you in all its impossible beauty. From this height, you can see that the landmass forms a perfect spiral, with the crystal pool at its center, like the eye of a gentle hurricane. Other islands drift nearby, each one unique in its ethereal architecture, connected by bridges of solidified mist that span the dark waters between them. But Whisperwind isn't content to simply circle the islands. With a subtle shift in its flight pattern, the dragon begins to climb higher, carrying you up through layers of mist and cloud toward the star-filled sky above. As you ascend, the air around you begins to shimmer and change, taking on qualities that seem to exist somewhere between the physical and the metaphysical. You pass through a layer of clouds that feel like silk against your skin, and suddenly you're flying through what can only be described as the realm of dreams made visible. Around you, fragments of sleeping thoughts drift like luminous butterflies. A child's dream of flying, an elder's memory of their first dragon encounter, a mother's hopes for her children's future. These dream fragments are drawn to Whisperwind like iron fillings to a magnet, swirling around you both in a dance of pure wonder. The dragon's song changes again, becoming something that seems to harmonize with the very music of the spheres. You realize that Whisperwind is showing you its true purpose, its role as a weaver of dreams and guardian of sleep. Through your bond, you understand that this creature and its kind have been the source of the most beautiful dreams throughout history, the inspiration behind humanity's greatest achievements, the comfort that comes to the grieving in their sleep. As you fly through this realm of living dreams, you begin to feel a profound sense of peace settling over you. Every worry, every stress, every small anxiety that you carry in your daily life begins to dissolve like morning mist before the sun. In their place comes a deep, abiding sense of connection, not just to Whisperwind, but to all living things, to the very fabric of existence. The dragon carries you higher still, until you're flying among the stars themselves. But these aren't the distant suns you're familiar with from Berk's night sky. These are something far more intimate and personal. Each point of light represents a sleeping soul somewhere in the world below, and you can feel their dreams brushing against your consciousness like gentle waves against a peaceful shore. Whisperwind's flight becomes a dance among these stellar dreams, weaving between them with impossible grace. Through your bond with the dragon, you begin to understand the intricate patterns that connect all sleeping minds. The way dreams flow from one soul to another, carrying messages of hope, healing, and love across vast distances. You lose track of time in this celestial realm, caught up in the pure joy of flight and discovery. It might have been minutes or hours before Whisperwind begins a gentle descent, carrying you back toward the mystical islands below. But you're not the same person who first climbed onto the dragon's back. The experience has changed something fundamental within you, opening doorways in your mind and heart that you never knew existed. As you descend through the layers of dream and mist, you feel a profound gratitude welling up within you. Not just for this incredible experience, but for the trust Whisperwind has shown in sharing its world with you, for the bond you've formed, for the glimpse you've been given into the deeper mysteries of existence. The dragon alights on a different part of the island than when you first met. A small clearing surrounded by trees whose leaves chime softly in the gentle breeze. The ground here is covered with the softest moss, like a natural bed prepared specifically for rest. Bioluminescent flowers dot the clearing, their gentle glow providing just enough light to see by without disturbing the peaceful atmosphere. As you slide down from Whisperwind's back, your legs are unsteady, not from fear or exhaustion, but from the profound nature of what you've just experienced. The dragon settles beside you with fluid grace, folding its magnificent wings and curling its long neck in a protective arc around the space where you stand. You find yourself sinking down onto the moss-covered ground, your body finally registering the deep relaxation that has been building throughout your journey. Whisperwind adjusts its position, creating a perfect windbreak and shelter with its body while still maintaining that precious physical connection that allows your bond to continue flowing between you. The dragon's song has softened to barely a whisper now, a lullaby that seems to resonate in your very bones. Through your connection, you can feel Whisper Wind's contentment, its joy at having found a companion after so many years of solitude. But more than that, you can sense the dragon's purpose beginning to fulfill itself through your bond. Already, you can feel the gift of perfect sleep beginning to settle over you like a warm blanket. Your eyelids grow heavy as you rest against Whisper Wind's warm flank, the dragon's scales providing a surprisingly comfortable pillow. The creature's steady breathing creates a rhythm that your own body naturally begins to match, and you feel yourself sinking deeper into a state of profound relaxation. Around you, the mystical island seems to respond to your approaching slumber. The bioluminescent flowers dim their glow to a barely perceptible shimmer, while the chiming leaves quiet their melody to the faintest whisper. Even the air itself seems to grow thicker and more nurturing. Through your drowsy awareness, you sense other inhabitants of this magical realm drawing near, not to disturb, but to witness and protect. Tiny sprites no larger than your thumb flutter by, their presence adding to the protective aura that surrounds your resting place. Larger guardians, beings of pure starlight and ancient wisdom, take up positions at the clearing's edge, their silent vigil ensuring that nothing will disturb your rest. The last thing you're consciously aware of is Whisper Wind's wing extending over you like a living canopy, the translucent membrane filtering the gentle starlight into patterns that dance behind your closed eyelids. The dragon's lullaby continues, weaving itself into the fabric of your dreams as sleep finally claims you. But this isn't ordinary sleep. This is the gift that Whisper Wind and its kind have been offering to the world since time immemorial. Your dreams are vivid and beautiful, filled with visions of soaring through impossible skies, of swimming through oceans of starlight, of dancing with creatures made of pure joy and wonder. In your dreams, you and Whisper Wind explore realms that exist beyond the boundaries of the physical world, visiting places where thoughts take on solid form and emotions paint themselves across the sky in brilliant colors. You dream of flying through libraries made of crystallized knowledge, of resting in gardens where every flower holds a different memory, of swimming in pools of liquid music that sing as you move through them. Throughout it all, Whisper Wind is your constant companion, guide, and protector. The dragon shows you wonders that no waking mind could fully comprehend, shares with you the accumulated wisdom of ages, and fills your sleeping hours with such beauty and peace that you understand why sleep has always been considered a gift from the gods. As the night deepens around your resting forms, other creatures of the mystical island begin to emerge. Tiny dragons no larger than hummingbirds flit through the clearing, their scales glowing like living jewels as they tend to the luminescent flowers. Larger beings, translucent and graceful, drift between the trees like benevolent spirits. All of these creatures seem to recognize Whisperwind's importance, and by extension, yours. They move quietly through the clearing, their activities creating a gentle symphony of natural sounds that blend perfectly with the dragon's ongoing lullaby. It's as if the entire island has become a nursery, designed specifically for your rest and renewal. Your dreams continue to unfold in layers of increasing beauty and meaning. You dream of returning to Berk with Whisperwind, of introducing your new companion to your friends and fellow riders. You dream of the good you could do together, bringing the gift of peaceful sleep to those who suffer from nightmares, helping the troubled find rest, and sharing the profound sense of connection and wonder that your bond has brought into your life. But even as you dream of the future, you're fully present in this perfect moment of rest. Your body is completely relaxed, every muscle loose and comfortable against Whisperwind's warm flank. Your breathing has synchronized completely with the dragon's, creating a rhythm that seems to match the gentle pulse of the island itself. The dragon's scales continue to shift and flow with colors that reflect your dream state. Soft blues and purples when you dream of flying, warm golds and roses when you dream of joy, gentle silvers and whites when you dream of peace. It's as if Whisperwind is not just sharing your dreams, but actively participating in them, adding its own ancient wisdom and perspective to the visions that unfold behind your sleeping eyes. Hours pass in this state of perfect rest, your sleep deeper and more restorative than any you've ever experienced. The usual fragments and anxieties that sometimes intrude on sleep are completely absent, replaced by an unbroken flow of beautiful, meaningful dreams that seem to heal something deep within your soul. As dawn approaches in the world beyond the mystical islands, your dreams begin to take on a different quality. Instead of the wild flights through impossible realms, you find yourself dreaming of simple, perfect moments. Sunrise over calm waters, the feeling of warm sand between your toes, the sound of gentle laughter carried on a summer breeze. These quieter dreams are no less profound than the earlier visions. In them, you find a deep appreciation for the simple beauties of existence, a renewed sense of wonder at the everyday miracles that surround you. Through Whisperwind's influence, you're learning to find the magical in the mundane, to see the extraordinary that hides within the ordinary. Your sleep remains deep and undisturbed, your body completely at rest, while your mind soars through realms of beauty and wonder. Whisperwind's protective presence ensures that nothing can disturb this perfect slumber. The dragon's ancient power creating a bubble of peace and safety around your resting form. The bond between you continues to strengthen even as you sleep, weaving itself into the very fabric of your being. You're dimly aware, even in the depths of dream, that this connection will remain with you always, a source of comfort and wonder that will enrich every day of your life going forward. As your dreams gradually begin to fade toward the gentle awakening that will come with the new day, you carry with you the profound peace and renewal that only the deepest, most restorative sleep can provide. Your last dream is of Whisperwind's song, that haunting, beautiful melody that first called you to this mystical realm, now woven permanently into the rhythm of your own heartbeat. In this perfect moment of rest, surrounded by magic and cradled by the gentle presence of your new companion, you sleep the sleep of the truly peaceful. Your dreams filled with wonder and your heart filled with the deep contentment that comes from finding your place in the vast, beautiful tapestry of existence.